Right now, as you sit here breathing and blinking, you are kept alive by roughly 37 trillion tiny living machines. Your body operates like a massive automated city, built entirely from your own human cells. But if we run the numbers on every living entity inside and on the surface of your body, you are actually outnumbered. There are more bacterial cells living on you right now than there are human cells. This means your physical form is a multi-species collection, where human biology and microscopic organisms exist in constant contact. To understand how we survive and function, we have to look past our own biology and examine the invisible majority that shares our physical space. These microbes are prokaryotes, a category of single-celled life that operates differently from the complex cells making up plants and animals. Prokaryotes lack a nucleus. They operate without a secure central control room to house their genetic material. Instead, a bacterium's DNA consists of a single, circular chromosome. It sits directly within the cell's internal fluid in an open region called the nucleoid. Without complex internal compartments, bacteria rely on a tough exterior architecture. A rigid cell wall wraps around the membrane, protecting the organism from harsh environmental pressures. For physical navigation, many feature a long, rotating whip called a flagellum to swim, along with hundreds of tiny, bristled fibers called fimbriae or pili, which they use to tightly grip surfaces. Their survival tools also include plasmids. These are tiny, extra rings of DNA, separate from the main chromosome, which grant the cell specific swappable traits, like antibiotic resistance. This stripped-down, efficient architecture allows bacteria to survive and multiply in almost any environment on Earth. When it comes to reproduction, bacteria rely on a simple method called binary fission. A single mother cell duplicates its DNA, elongates, and pinches perfectly in half to create two identical daughter cells. This process creates massive populations very quickly. Because bacteria do not need a mate to reproduce, their count doubles with every generation, leading to explosive growth in a matter of hours. This reproductive speed allows a handful of cells to rapidly colonize a completely new environment, whether that is a warm puddle of water or a human host. Their sheer numbers and reproductive velocity, rather than physical size or complexity, serve as the true engines of their biological dominance. Inside the human gut, this multiplying army engages in endosymbiosis, a relationship where these organisms live inside us as vital partners. We provide them with a stable habitat, and in return, they perform tasks our bodies cannot. They ferment complex carbohydrates that we lack the enzymes to digest, and they synthesize essential nutrients like vitamin K. Outside the body, their role is just as crucial. Certain strains ferment milk to produce human foods like yogurt, while others drive the global nitrogen cycle, pulling nitrogen from the atmosphere and converting it into a form that keeps plants alive. These alliances establish bacteria as the foundational gears, keeping larger, complex ecosystems running. However, when harmful pathogens enter the body, they use that same reproductive speed to overwhelm our defenses, causing severe conditions like tuberculosis and pneumonia. Before modern medicine, these pathogens ravaged human populations largely unchecked. Outbreaks of diseases like cholera caused massive casualties and severe societal disruption. The discovery of antibiotics gave us a chemical weapon to fight back, saving millions of lives. But it also triggered a rapid evolutionary arms race. By combining their high-speed binary fission with the ability to trade those tiny DNA plasmids, surviving bacteria quickly share genes that neutralize the drugs. This creates resistant pathogens known as superbugs, like MRSA. Humanity's greatest medical threat stems from the structural tools, plasmids and rapid division, that make bacteria so difficult to eliminate. If we zoom out from human history to deep planetary time, prokaryotes were likely the very first forms of life to emerge on Earth. They have survived continuously for billions of years, adapting to extreme radiation and toxic atmospheres that would destroy more complex life. This cellular simplicity serves as an evolutionary advantage, allowing them to weather planetary changes that would destroy more complex life. Even long after humanity and all other complex organisms have gone extinct, these single-celled survivalists will still be here. These single-celled organisms function as the unseen architects of our planet, the most successful life forms to ever exist.